So this week we're focusing on a collaboration tool called Padlet.com. You'll see my browser is already at Padlet.com. And right now I'm not signed in yet. For you guys, you're going to need to hit sign up. It's free. And you'll need to click on sign up with Google and then log in with your Stafford County Google address. For me, I've already signed in or signed up. So let me go ahead and sign in with Google and we'll get started. All right, so now I'm signed in, and Padlet takes me to what's called my dashboard. My dashboard is where it will show me anything that I've created in Padlet so far. If other people have shared Padlets with me, those will be on the side. If I've liked any other Padlets, etc. One thing I want to point out about Padlet, while it is a free program, you can upgrade, which will give you other features. Under the free version, you are only allowed to create 6 Padlets at a time. So if you find out that you need more Padlets than that, you're going to have to delete or upgrade. But I think 6 should be plenty for you. So let's jump in and let's make a Padlet. I click on Make a Padlet, and it asks me, how do I want to start? So you need to think a little bit here about what kind of collaboration, what kind of brainstorming, what kind of activity you're doing here with students. You'll see there's lots of different options. I'm going to choose shelf because for me, for this, I want to have things be organized in columns so that students can add different things to different columns. So I'm going to select the shelf option. It's going to go ahead and load now, and it's going to create my Padlet. Okay, first thing you're going to want to do is on the right side, you're going to want to go ahead and rename your Padlet. So let's say that this is my English PO Padlet. And description, you can leave blank, or you can add some sort of directions that you need there for students. So be sure to add your thoughts. If I had more instructions for students there, if I had some sort of basic rubric I wanted to include, I would make sure I included all that there. Wallpaper is just my background. So I'll choose this rusty. You'll see that there are more down here that you can choose from. And then I have a couple of different options with theme, font style, icons, posting. I will say in the posting, I usually just turn on the profanity filter. And then you got to think a little bit about how the collaboration is going to be set up, whether or not you want students to be able to respond to things that are posted. So if you do want that, then you would go ahead and allow viewers to comment on posts. If you want them to be able to grade or star or like posts, you can turn those on as well. Again, it kind of comes down to what kind of activity you're doing with students here. I don't do much with tags, but you could go ahead and put in tags for things you would search for to find this Padlet again later. And then this address down here, this entire address is going to be important later because that's what you're going to actually have to share with students so they can access your Padlet. All right, so now I'm going to go back up and I'm going to hit next. And it's going to basically walk me through my steps here. So next thing it wants to know is who can access this and what can they do when they get there. So if I'm making a Padlet that I want students just to be able to see, maybe it has links that they can click on or resources, I would just set that to something that could be read. Otherwise, I'm going to have it so that they can add posts. So I'm going to leave it as can write. Down here, this moderation button is important. If you want to be able to set this up so that you have to approve everything that's added to the Padlet first before it becomes viewable, then you would make sure you turn that on. I would probably use that in classes that I might be a little worried about some students and whether or not they would be contributing appropriate things to the Padlet. Otherwise, I would just leave that off. But again, those are options for you. I'm going to click next, and it's going to say you're all set. Post to your heart's content. So at this point now, I'm going to go ahead and name my columns. So for my PO Padlet, this is going to be works. And then this column, I'm going to put life. And then for this column, I'm going to put reactions. And I would, of course, explain this in class, what would be going in these works. The students would be adding pieces of knowledge about any sort of work that Poe has done. Life, they would be adding tidbits about his life here. And then reactions would be personal reactions I want them to get from either his life or his works. All right, so at this point, I would share that web address that I had. Remember, that's back over here. Under the share button, you'll have to click the share, export, embed. And you'll see you have options for embedding this in your website, emailing, etc. I'm just going to go ahead and take the copy link to this Padlet. And then that would be the link that I would put in my Google Classroom or just send out to my students directly so they could access the Padlet. Once students are accessing your Padlet, they'll see this screen and they'll go through and do whatever you told them to do. So they're going to click the little plus to add a post. So let's say I'm adding something about Poe's life. I would title it Early Life. I would put a fact here. Poe's mom was an actress. And my assignment should be a little bit more involved than this, but maybe I'm just doing a quick brainstorm. I do want to point out that with your posts, you're not limited to just texts. To just text, you can have students add links. You can have them add resources from the internet. They can add images. And then there's a more button. I can even have students add voice recordings, drawings. So maybe if you're a math teacher and you're like, I'm not sure how I would use Padlet for this. Well, you could make it so that students have to draw and actually show how a problem is solved, that kind of thing. There's maps. So there's all sorts of resources that you can have students access when they're adding things, they're adding their posts to the Padlet. I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and we're good to go.